What happened to your best friend after high school? Joined the army. Goofing around with some buddies on leave. Got drunk and fell out of the back of a pickup truck bed, putting him into a coma. His parents disconnected life support a couple weeks later and donated his organs to save 3 or 4 different people's lives. She was killed by a drunk driver a month before her 21st birthday. We had kind of lost touch after graduation, but we were starting to hang out again and I couldn't have been happier about reconnecting. I'd missed her. Then one night a drunk driver hit her going 80. I remember her sister calling me and having to tell me the next day. I was devastated. I'd let things slip between us when we went to separate colleges. I wish I had had more time with her, but I'm glad I had the few moments we did have when we were reconnecting. Please don't drink and drive. There are so many options for you out there to get you home safely. Use one of them. Edit. Wow. Thank you, kind stranger, for the gold. Thank you to everyone for your kind words and your comments. I hate that other people have gone through this. I try really hard to make sure anyone who needs a ride has a ride. Again, please don't drink and drive. It really isn't worth the risk. He became someone pretty well known in the ghost hunting community, but not in a good way. I don't want to say his name, but he was a notorious liar when I knew him, and when I saw him on the show he was on, he was exactly the same as I remember. I was able to tell when he was lying every time. Partly because I know his tells, but mostly because everything he said was a lie. She accused me of telling people she was a lesbian and stopped talking to me. It wasn't true, as I did not tell anyone anything, me being oblivious to her orientation. She recently had a ceremony with a woman and posted pics on Facebook. A decent number of my high school friends later came out. I honestly had no idea. I did meet them all in musical theater or drama, but still. My mom says she knew all along. I'm still annoyed for being accused of something I 100% didn't do. When I met him, he was 12, living in a home for boys. I was 13. Through high school had many adventures, shared experiences, both legal and not so legal, shared various intoxicants, shared women, shared many hours just talking about everything. I met a lovely, sweet girl and married her. He was a dog, and jumped woman to woman, but constantly came to hang out with us, with a different girl most times. He married a woman 14 years older than him, lasted 2 years, divorced, worked in Saudi Arabia for 7 years, traveled round the world many times, married a girl 14 years younger than him, got divorced, wound up living at my house for the better part of 10 years. He died 2 years ago in his sleep, just days short of his 60th birthday. We had been brothers at heart for 48 years. It broke my heart. One died of a heart attack. The other was shot and killed. The other finished the army, got married to a lunatic, and moved to the desert, where he has taken up the hobbies of stargazing, painting and yoga. Grew his hair out and has a ponytail. He was a genius, but in a good, non-nerdy way, so he went to MIT in Northwestern. We still keep in touch after 35 plus years. Runs a company or something. Probably loaded. We'll always be the dorky freaks and geeks guys. We lost touch right away. I think we both knew we weren't really compatible. We just didn't have anyone else in high school, and we had known each other for years. She contacted me after freshman year in college over the summer saying she wanted to get together. She ditched me. Then shortly after I got engaged, she contacted me again. I gave her a chance because college kids can still be dumb and immature. She dropped hints about wanting to be invited despite us not seeing or speaking in 5+ years. Kept saying she would let me know when she was in town and we can get together. I said yay, definitely. Saw her mom at the store the next week. Her mom said she was coming up that weekend. I didn't reach out to her. I wanted to see if she was going to keep her word. Nope. And never contacted me again. Don't know what she is doing now. That was about 3 years ago. All my best friends are still my best friends. And when we all went off to different universities we found more good friends. And now those good friends are friends with everyone's best friends. So it's like some mega good friend group thing we have going on. 15 of us are going to Vegas in June. Wish us luck cause we don't plan on coming back. Roomed with me freshman year of college. First semester all he would do is stay in the room and play video games or smoke weed. He'd never go to class. We ended up hating each other. He dropped out after the first semester. A couple years later he stopped smoking and turned his life around. He didn't go back to college but didn't need to because he found a job that makes him happy. We're still in contact even though I moved away for a job. We ended up living about 10 minutes away from each other in a large city. We're from a small town. We kept touch and frequently we'd changed a lot in the 15 years I lived out of state. Most recently she posted a huge rant on Facebook about how working in HR is awful because she had to deal with all these stupid people who didn't even graduate college. And if you were stupid enough to have not graduated college, not to bother speaking to her because she couldn't handle being around such ignorance. Guess who didn't finish college? I haven't spoken to her since. I feel no real loss. I've made much better friends after high school. My 3 best friends I all worked on the newspaper with in high school. None of them work for newspapers, but they've all found success in their own careers. One of them is now a high school English teacher, who, I've heard, is quite popular with his students. Another one just graduated from med school, and the third was probably my best friend in all of high school, now lives in California and works for Google. We were very close up until about 3 or 4 years ago. We were both pregnant with our second child at the same time. She was just a few months ahead of me. When she was 6 months pregnant, the baby stopped moving. She went to the hospital and found out he died. She had to deliver him. It messed her up pretty bad. She got very bitter towards everyone that just had a baby, or that was pregnant without any issues. We've talked here and there. I miss her, and I still love her like she's family, but I can't bring myself to hang out with her anymore. She's not so bitter and angry anymore, but I know how upset she still is about her son. I couldn't be there for her when it all happened because I live too far away. And I could tell she resented me for not having any problems. I know she didn't want to be that way. She was just depressed. I don't blame her one bit. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm always with my toddler. Taking my daughter to her house to hang out just feels like a slap in the face. They were about the same age, and it would break her heart to see what her son could be doing right now. I miss her, but unfortunate circumstances made our friendship awkward. We're still best friends. He's more like an older brother to me although we're not related, so our relationship may seem strange to some. I made many new friends since then but we message each other almost daily and meet up once a year. He's on the other side of the earlier he just lived a few blocks away. He keeps me on the right track and we don't talk about topics such as sex, cause it's just way too awkward. I got female friends for that. He joined the Marines. He has been in for 8 years now and is doing protective services. We see each other about twice a year. We live on separate sides of the planet, but talk once a week. We are both married and he has a kid. He is retiring in 2 years and is going back to school. He wants to be a history teacher and is planning to move to the same state as me. I miss the man every day but I am proud of him beyond words.